For more insight into this brand new poll, as well as the current state of the election, I'm joined by NewsNation political contributor and former D.C. Democratic Party chairman, Scott Bolden, as well as NewsNation political contributor and associate research scholar and lecturer in politics and public affairs at Princeton University, Dr. Lauren Wright. Guys, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Wright, I am going to start with you. Nick did a really great job breaking down those numbers. So, again, the poll shows Kamala Harris trailing Trump in those swing states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania. They're tied in Wisconsin. I know this is a snapshot. You told me that before when it comes to polling. What's your takeaway, though, from this latest poll?
Well, it's obvious that Harris is in a better position to beat Trump than Biden was. That's very clear. What's unclear is if there's ground to make up or if she's maxed out now with all of the excitement. I think probably not. I think maybe things get even tighter because she's, it's hypothetical in some of these situations, and she hasn't even launched a campaign. I think after the DNC, after she picks a VP, maybe we'll see the polls get a little bit tighter. But then you're in the real battle for who has the better policy ideas. And also, what did she know about Biden's condition, and how hands-on was she with the unpopular economic policies and immigration policies? Those are hard questions to answer, but I think it's a very tight race, no matter how you slice it.
Scott, what's your takeaway, especially considering VP Harris is surpassing President Biden's numbers from just March? Is it enough?
Well, I think it's more than enough to make that race even tighter. Sounds like Biden made the right decision. Not that he didn't think he could win, and not that he didn't have the support, but he thought that to save the democracy from Donald Trump and the MAGA voters and the RNC, that she had a better chance. And this is manifesting itself in this poll in just the last week. I don't think the race gets tighter. I think there are two significant events that are coming up. The DNC convention, where she either surpasses Donald Trump in those swing states, and in some polling, she's ahead in the national polling. But secondly, that first debate where she prosecutes the case against Donald Trump and she brings the message and makes him accountable for being a sexual abuser, financial fraud exposure, as well as a convicted felon. That crystallized message brought by her energy and young people and black and brown voters and women voters and the abortion issue is going to make a tremendous contrast. America is going to make that decision. And as a Democrat, but as an American, I think she's got a better message, notwithstanding the economic challenges the Democratic Party has had, despite what they inherited. So we'll have to watch and see. But the Democrats are on the upswing right now.
Dr. Wright, what a difference a week makes. But President Biden just announced, really, of the year, I think.
Yeah.
But President Biden announced this on Sunday. It's been less than a week. Have we gotten the full scope of Harris's candidacy yet?
No, but I was extraordinarily impressed by her first 2 days. I mean, the way she systematically whipped those delegates, made the phone calls, stayed up all hours of the night, that was the sort of energy Democrats have been missing, and it's very clear she's going to work hard and not take anything for granted. So that was impressive. But, look, she's got some very serious challenges. I study presidential surrogates. I study vice presidents. She has been the most active vice president we've seen in decades. She has not been hidden away by the White House. She's done more public appearances and speeches than any of her predecessors. And so I think the sinking popularity is a sign that when she goes out on these really controversial issues like immigration, which she had a big hand in, people see her as responsible. They see some mistakes. She herself is prone to gaffes. So let's just see what happens. I thought the setup of your question was so good because there's room for both of these candidates to make mistakes, to tighten the polls, yes, but also to make some missteps.
And Scott, what did you make of the president's address from the Oval Office last night?
I thought it was powerful. It was somber. But he talked about democracy and reminded us of American values. Quoted the Constitution, quoted the Declaration of Independence, and talked about this being a people's government, a people's democracy. Reminded us of what's great about America, notwithstanding that the country is pretty well fairly split between Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Harris. And so he gave us the choice. He reminded us we've got a choice in this election between democracy and anarchy. but he reminded us of the values.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.